Hello, and welcome to Sermons with Scott, a channel dedicated to helping you grow in your faith while navigating through the challenges of life. My name is Scott. It's an honor to have you here today. I hope this will be a blessing. Today, I'd like to talk about, are you prepared? I can't help but think of many different projects and things that go on in our life, especially with any kind of construction project. If you've ever built a house or even had a kitchen or bathroom remodel, and all the different steps and the preparation that's taken, or even a Thanksgiving meal and bringing the family together and how many different things that take place and having to get all the ingredients correct and certain recipes that family members bring and all those things and how important it is. But do you realize how important God considers preparation? The word prepared is used 78 times in the Bible. The word preparation is used 9 times. It's even listed as one of the pieces of the armor of God in Ephesians chapter number 6, verse 15. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of the peace. You know, if you could go back in time and look, probably one of the most famous biblical stories is the story there of David and Goliath. But I can't help but think of David growing up with his brothers and the many brothers that they had. And much like many boys do, I'm sure that they have slung some stones along their way in their lifetime and threw rocks at different things and probably made fun of each other and maybe even had toy soldiers that were set up or different things and calling each other out about who missed and who wasn't throwing it and who is the weakest among all of them. But you know, I bet David never realized as he threw those stones and as he learned to use a sling how important it would be in his life. See, the first stone that David ever threw was not against Goliath. The Bible teaches us that preparing for the battle and how important it is. What has God allowed to happen in your life that is in preparation for something down the road? 1 Samuel chapter number 17, the Bible tells us, and Eliab, his eldest brother, heard what he had spake, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David, and he said, Why comest thou hither? And with whom hast thou left thy few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and the naughtiness of thy heart, for thou art come down that thou mightst see the battle. And David said, What have I not done? Is there not a cause? And he turned from him towards another and spake again after the same manner. And the people answered him again and after the former manner. And when the words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said unto Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with thy Philistine. And and Saul said to David, Thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, Thy servant kept the father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went after him, and smote him, and delivered him out of the mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and I smote him, and slew him. Thy servant slew the lion and the bear, and the uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defiled the armies of the living God. David said moreover, The Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of the Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and the Lord be with thee. If you're unfamiliar with the story here in the Bible in 1 Samuel 17, and he continues to speak, David brought a great victory against the Philistines. They're a man that his entire youth was probably full of training. And as he began to get older and older, as he lifted more weights and got stronger, he would use this brute force as a thing of intimidation. But yet David was not scared because David had been prepared for a battle that he did not know was coming. But when it arrived, he also had the Lord on his side. You know, another one I can't help but think about is Noah. Noah building the ark. I couldn't imagine Noah as a young man the first time he ever picked up a hammer and realized how he could use it or put the boards or the blocks together. I know my son did this many times with scrap pieces of wood on a job site and built little things with them. And I imagine Noah did the same thing as a young man, maybe his dad there teaching him how to use a hammer and use a saw, not realizing that one day he would save his entire family. The Bible says, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7, By faith Noah, being warned of God of these things, not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by that which he condemned the whole world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. It is possible that God has allowed something to happen in your life to prepare you for something in the future or to help someone else that may be struggling through a difficulty. Maybe God is using that moment that he can look towards you to be a blessing to someone else. Maybe you see someone who may be discouraged, someone who's down and out or having troubles with something, and you can go to them and say, I remember when I went through this exact same thing. Let me show you what God did for me. Let me show you a Bible verse that God gave to me, because you never know what you're being prepared for. I pray that you take the opportunity to examine yourself and what God has given you, what God has allowed for you, and to see that you could be a blessing to someone else. My name is Scott. It's been an honor to have you here today. I hope this was a blessing.